Hey guys, so Lord here, back again with another action figure review, and one that I have very much been looking forward to ever since this figure was leaked, announced, whatever the case may be. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Masters of the Universe Chronicles. I'm not 100% sure if this is a Wal-Mart exclusive or not, but I'll give it an OJ. Anyways, just for kicks and giggles, because today we're going to be taking a look at what I think is, anyways, the new Eternia Scareglow, brought to us by the fine folks over at Mattel, who will remain fine folks despite the fact that they are putting all their belated, probably rotten at this point, Easter eggs in one basket and putting a ton of stuff on pause in favor for the new Masters movie. Hopefully, with any luck, it won't bomb like Eternals, or as I like to call them, Eterdals. Not to be confused with those little green buggers hanging out at my local Target. That said, I would also like to give a shout out to my good buddies Tee Bizz and Evil Villain, who helped make this review possible, because Tee Bizz found this figure down where he's at, shipped it to Evil Villain, who in turn shipped it to me. So I will leave links in the description below to Tee Bizz's YouTube channel and Evil Villain's Instagram. Head on over there, give them a follow, subscribe, whatever you want to call it, and let them know Overlord sent you. Because if there is ever an analogy I could make to Togo going to get the diphtheria medication, getting halfway back to Nome, Alaska, handing it off to Balto, who got it to Nome, Alaska, this is one of those times. Why am I making an analogy to a historic event? 'Cause I'm a nerd, and I do stupid crap like that. So, with that being said, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all Scareglow has to offer in terms of accessories, which it ain't much, but it's, I guess, enough. We got an alt fist and grippy hand, which you notice these are more like a McFarlane alt hands. We'll talk about that. Yeah, I would have liked a second fist, and I would have liked a second open hand. But the hands I got on him are the hands I'm going to use, so that's that. We also get his, they call it a Scythe of Doom, but this is a halberd, clearly, with this crazy dragon snake basilisk thing wrapped around the end. And it's got the curved blade there with some nicks and dings and scratches in it to show that it's been used to bring doom to somebody. I'm not sure who, but some poor bugger who wandered into Subternia. And then we have these crazy Ghost Rider flames for his neck, which help keep the collar in place, so I will probably use those. I just took them off to showcase the articulation, because there's a lot to go over. He does have a cloth cape, which of course had tape on it, because Mattel gonna do that. I guess it's better that it's taped than those little plastic thingies, because then you don't gotta deal with holes, but still annoying, and it still sucks. I don't like either one of them. But taking his head off here, so we can safely remove the cape. Popping his head back on, why don't we look at the articulation while we have him, for lack of a better term, bare bones. So, this Chronicles line has a new articulation scheme, kind of, sort of, kind of not, sort of. I say that because, yes, he's got the double ball peg in the base of the skull, literally, and you can get some tilt and some forward and back out of that, and of course, your rotation. But you also get a joint in the neck, which gives you a little bit more. So you can really look up, really look down, really tilt side to side, very expressive. I like that. It's almost like having a triple ball peg in the neck. And of course, all of his bones are sculpted, but they don't glow in the dark, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. It said as far as his shoulders go, they can pop out as far as this little spike will allow. He's got little shoulder spikes. That's kind of cool. They can rotate all the way around. He does have beautiful butterflies that don't move a ton, but they are smooth. I didn't have to crack these loose, and they get enough range, at least for me. I don't need them to be superposable. It's freaking Scareglow. He's going to stand there and look scary. He's got a bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, which is smooth, but I will say on this side, this bottom one did not want to freaking move. Even with heat, it was a little tricky to get it to move. Thankfully, I got it to move without breaking anything, or stressing anything out, or raising my blood pressure. So that is cool. Now for the hands. You can go up, you can go down, you can of course rotate. But you can also rotate the hand on the end because this is a ball hinge wrist. Now I'm going to do this once in this video. That's all you're going to get. I'm going to take a behind camera so I can do it. You can pop the hands off, but you probably heard the very loud pop noise off camera. These are very tight. Granted, they're not built like McFarlane hinges. These are built more like import style hinges, so I'm guessing like SHF or Mofex or something like that. Maybe even Amazing Yamaguchi. But they are very tight. And before I did a lot of popping off of the hands, I heated mine up. You don't have to do that. Do it at your own risk, but I did it to be safe. I'd even argue if you're going to swap these out a lot, maybe even go in there with a little Dremel and trim some excess plastic away. But it's your toy. You do what you want with it. I'm not going to break mine, so I use a hairdryer. That said, diaphragm joint. Can lean that far back, that far forward. Probably could go a little further than that, let's be real. It does rotate, and it does tilt. Waist actually has a ball peg, so you can lean it back and forth a little bit. Yeah, he can't crunch forward hardly at all. That's kind of hilarious. Really, like a McFarlane figure. He can rotate, though, and he can tilt side to side. Hips have those stupid freaking drop downs, but they're not loose or stuck on either side, and they snap back into place. You can kick the legs out pretty far without the drop down. You can kick them pretty far forward without the drop down, and he does have a decent thigh cut, despite the fact that it doesn't look like he actually has a thigh cut. It just kind of rotates on the ball there. But here's the thing. No waxy hips. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I love that. He does have double jointed knees, which are nice and stiff, but don't feel like they're going to give you arthritis. He does have boot cut. I will say this boot popped off on mine, and they were all twisted out of the package, so I had to straighten them out. But the plus side is, you get a ball hinge ankle on top of that boot swivel, so you can do whatever you want with his little skeleton toes there. But, of course, you can hinge up and down, pivot, and it does, yep, he's got peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So, a very awesome figure, definitely a figure of the year. Very happy to have this guy somewhat early. Want to call it that. Oops. Let me put his armor back on. He's got really cool armor too. It's got like skulls and stuff on it. Put this flame piece back on. The flame piece, unfortunately, has that weird rubbery plastic feel that some new Eternia figures had, but it is what it is. And then last but not least, we'll give him his staff here, or his halberd, whatever you want to call it, of doom. It was the staff of being warped earlier. I had to bend that thing back into place. Let me bend this top joint. That'll probably be a little better. But standing him up there, he is fantastic. He is an excellent figure. Probably one of my top 5 figures of the year right now, not gonna lie. But it's not perfect. I would have liked a couple extra hands. I would have liked a hinged jaw. If you're gonna do all this articulation, give us something to make him a little more expressive. Because we never had a Scareglow with a hinged jaw. Plenty of Skeletors, but never a Scareglow. I think that's a bit of a missed opportunity. There's plenty of room to put it in there, but hey, it is what it is. Still, like, a dang near a 10 out of 10, if not like a 9.9, 9.8 out of 10. You definitely need to pick this up. If you're a fan of the Masterverse stuff, this will probably sway you into liking this new Chronicles line, despite the scale. So, with that being said, why don't we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here's our brand new-ish, anyways, I know he's been out for a little bit, Masters of the Universe Chronicles Scareglow, alongside his Masterverse counterpart from the Masters of the Universe Revelation/Revolution series. This is the Comic-Con exclusive version with the fluorescent paint for the bones, so when you hit him with a black light, he will glow more than just his head, but regular light, it's just going to be his head. Still weird that we don't have a Scareglow that glows all around since the Origins one, or if you're willing to shell out the cash for him, the Mondo ones. But as you can see, he's a little shorter than him, as well as the new Eternia Ninjor, who I busted out for the sole fact that Scareglow did appear like this on Ninjor's box, so it makes the most sense to have him here. But it's not that far off. He is a little smaller, he feels a little smaller, but he's not that much smaller. I bet if you put him on a flight stand, pose him up behind some guys, he'll look just as intimidating as the rest of them. So getting these two out of here. I think the main thing with the Masterverse line is they just feel thick from like front to back. Bringing in our two regulars though, we have the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibilith. I think Scareglow scales with quite well. Mythic Legions is a little smaller than Masterverse. But then we have, of course, the infamous 11 Spawn, who, despite Scareglow's efforts with his Ghost Rider flames, still towers over everyone. That said, that green flame effect would probably look cool on a Spawn if you could get it to work. So, with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and aside from the fact that we have gotten yet another Scareglow that does not glow 100%, just the head, not the body, the only major gripe I have with this figure is the fact that the hands are a bit tough to swap out, and the fact that we don't get two fists and two open hands. I really think we live in an age where we're getting a set and a half of hands, and that needs to come to an end at some point. Yes, it would have been nice if his cape had a bendy wire in it, and yes, it would be nice if he scaled better with Masterverse, but ultimately, the fine folks over at Mattel are moving away from Masterverse, and as much as that kind of sucks as far as continuity and scale goes, this figure feels a lot better than a lot of Masterverse figures I've messed with over the past couple of years. And that's saying something, because I'm one of the white knights of the Masterverse line. I like the Masterverse line. It has its issues, but I like the Masterverse line. However, I'm not going to sit here and deny that this is not a superior figure, because it is, in almost every facet. Other than the one elbow joint being stuck, almost every joint, except the hands, is pretty smooth, and not in a loose way either. So I'm all for this Chronicles line. I just hope it's not just going to be a majority movie releases this year, and we see a few more, more traditional Masters releases come out of it before everything is all said and done. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, catch you guys later.